A lot of people think that our lung capacity is associated with the physical activity, especially aerobic exercise like swimming and running. However, have you ever dealt with this theory? Does aerobic exercise really enhance our lung capacity just like blowing a balloon? Or it just strengthens our body parts? Here's Kung Fu and experiment to let us find the answer.
In this experiment, we'll test for their tidal and vital capacity. Tidal capacity is the volume of air breathed in or out of lungs during quiet state that extra effort is not required. Normally, the tidal volume is a person is around 500 ml per inhalation. Vital capacities is the maximum amount of air expelled from the lung after a maximum breath-in of air, which is sum of inspiratory reserve volume, tidal volume, expiratory reserve volume. A normal person can exhale 3 to 5 liters in maximum. The tidal capacities, each participant was asked to inhale normally and then exhale normally into the balloon. And for the vital, they inhaled as much air as they possible and exhaled forcefully into the balloon. After each exhalation, the end of the balloon was pinched and measured its diameter as follows. To increase the accuracy of the experiment, we'll repeat the above steps for 3 times. This experiment, 10 guys will be chosen randomly. The rate and height will be measured for calculation of body surface area and estimation of their expected lung capacity. And the percentage of vital capacity will be calculated. Based on the result above, they will be separated into 2 groups, athletic and non-athletic. Result. Normally, the group that considered as athletes has larger lung capacity than the non-athletes, which indicate that higher intensity and frequency of aerobic exercise, the larger lungs capacity as result.
To find out whether aerobic exercise can really enhance our lung capacity, 2 lucky guys, one is considered as athlete Frank, and one is non-athlete Michael, will be chosen for the second section. There is no changes for their living habit, like daily consumption, biological clock, but the only difference is that Michael has to make sure that he engages in about 150 minutes of moderate exercise, like running and playing basketball, for 2 weeks, and Frank continues his exercise as usual. After 2 weeks, they have the balloon experiment again, and whether Michael's lung capacity has changed.
According to Dr. Menezes, long-term aerobic exercise can improve lung function, particularly for girls. However, does aerobic exercise has such large contribution with the lung capacity? Michael's lung tidal and vital volume doesn't really change with a large difference after 2 weeks of moderate exercise. Only a little improvement for 1 cm creep, which increased around 7%. There is no doubt that physical attribution can enhance our lung capacity with only a small extension. In fact, the lung capacity of each person was born with a specific maximum. The lung capacity can only be improved from 5% to 50%, even though we have frequently and intensively aerobic exercise. During the exercise, what actually improved are our heart and lung muscle. As the demand of oxygen increased, the result in a rapid contraction and relaxation of muscle for gaseous exchange and removal of waste, like carbon dioxide. but the effect on the lung capacity is extremely small. Of course, it doesn't mean that we don't need to do exercise regularly, but the experiments show us that physical exercise could help more in building up our body muscle rather than lung capacity.